So, hello everyone, my name is Krishna Raj. I'm a second year PhD student in Metallurgical Engineering and Material Science Department. I am contesting for the post of General Secretary Academic Affairs PG. Before this, from 2019-20 and because the hostel election didn't happen, even for the next tenure, I have been the maintenance secretary of Hostel 1. Other than that, I have completed my MTech in NIT Kurukshetra, and before that, I have a job experience of 4 years in Infosys and Accenture. And I have gained some knowledge about enterprise management and the problems of internships, etc., etc. So I focused in my manifesto on mainly 7 categories. I will briefly tell about that in this opening statement. I have focused on skill development for both research and placement, and I have proposed to bring in more minor courses and mentorship programs and industry-specific training, and even writing and communication skills, software tool training, etc. for developing the skills of our students to improve their employability. Other than that, I have focused on academic issues, few of the academic issues like TA allocation policy, TA certificates, and even conference fundings, and issues of external TA for PMF, etc. And even the institute, the instruments, their lab TAs, and how to provide information for everyone about the existing lab options, lab instruments. Then coming to the fellowship, I have spoken about the different issues, mainly related to DST Inspire when they lose their fellowship, and TAP and RA students, and about providing library and administrative TA for people who lost their funding, or if people who have completed 5 years and looking for a fellowship after that. And also I have mentioned one more thing is extension of the fellowship due to the time lost in the COVID-19 lockdown. Coming to the placement and internship issues, we already know that there is a lot of discussion going on about representation of PGs in the placement cell. I have mentioned that point, and there is a need for clear internship policy, and we also have to bring in more recruiters for core companies in the masters and PhD category. I have mentioned few of the topics, few of my proposals for that. And then coming to the interdisciplinary or cross-department work, I have mentioned a few points like publishing monthly research newsletters, and institute repository. There is a repository for displaying all the publishing that have been done by the institute in the published papers, etc. So to improve that, make it more user friendly, and then so all this.
Krishna, you have 30 seconds more. You have 30 seconds.
Okay. So all these initiatives are successful only if we can effectively communicate the information to the students. So I have a few points on improving the information dissemination, like a different app for that, and improving the PGS website, and extending the reach through different ISCP and other wherever we can get the manpower to increase the reach. So this is in brief the main proposals I have proposed for this section. So I'm hoping to get a proper discussion in this soapbox, and if I have missed any points, any suggestions which I need to take care, consider if I get elected in the further post.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna, for your introduction. So let us start the panel discussion based on your manifesto. And I would invite my predecessor, Aditya, to start the questioning. So Aditya, please unmute and you can ask the question.
Krishna, I have a question about the point related to minor courses in your manifesto. So what exactly is the main difference between a minor course and a minor program?
Okay, so minor program is where you will get the degree allotted, right? So for that, minor courses, when I say depending on what type of what interest you have, you can allot. I mean, you can float different courses on that, and you combine the courses to form a minor program through which you award the minor degree for the students. That's my understanding on that. And in the manifesto, what I mentioned, this actually is for minor program. That is, by increase adding more minor courses, you can provide a minor degree to the student, right? So we need to increase the number of minor courses for that. And also for PhD students, it's a little contentious because how to provide a degree for PhD students on minor program. It's a little tricky question. That's why I have mentioned minor courses there, so that even if we are not going to award the degree there, can have a separate category where we say that okay, PhD students, these are the alternative areas where they have studied, they have put effort to earn a certificate or a mention in their degree for that.
So there is one thing that I need to mention. In fact, you said by increasing minor courses, you can have minor programs. That's not how it is done. First, you need to have a minors program under which you list minors courses. Then only you can have a system set up. It's the other way around. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. It's actually clear. I mean, I mixed up the words. Yeah, because even if you have the minor program, you need minor courses, more minor courses, so that people have an option to select them. Yeah, I understand your point.
Yeah, I have two more follow-ups to this. My first question would be that is under the current system, is there any distinction between a UG minor and a PG minor? If there is a distinction, how is a PG minor degree or PG minor program different from a UG minor program? Second is, what is the mechanism by which a minor program is being made in the institute framework? And lastly, do you know if there is any department that is already running a PG minor program? And what is the current procedure for a master's student to get into a minor program?
Okay, so it's mainly about what are the rules in the rule book, right? So what I understand from the rule book here, I have the MTech rule book and this thing. So currently UG and masters, the minor program difference, I'm not exactly like aware of exactly how different they are. So what I understand from this is the for UG there are more minor programs available compared to masters, and the credit requirements for this thing is not exactly mentioned in the rule book. So coming to what you asked about, what are the programs in UG and PG, and then okay, what is the process for applying for that? So what my understanding is, you have to choose a minor program which you want to get. I mean, the students, they can choose a minor program. They have to go through the departments websites to find what they are floating as a minor program. You select them, you take those courses, and then you apply for once you have the required credit, this thing CPI, you can ask for you can request for the evaluation committee to award the minor degree for you. And difference is that different from the normal credit courses is that one is that you have to select a minor program from a different discipline than yours, and you have to your CPI in the main course will not be like your minor course CPIs will not be considered for your total CPI calculation.
Yeah, if I may, what is your role? What do you think is your role in this process? Getting a minor program constituted and minor courses constituted?
Okay.
How are you
Uh,
going to?
Yes, as a part of part of PGSE, what we have to do is we have to talk to the industry. We have to understand the like what type of minor courses or minor programs will help in improving the employability or will help the students in the industry in their workspace. So we have to identify those kind of specific minor programs in each department and then uh, we have to approach the PG program committee for inculcating, adding this along with the department. We also have to approach the department to add these particular minor programs and corresponding minor courses
No,
to the
PG programming
list.
committee comes much after in your process.
First in the department. Yes, yes. We have to first
Okay.
approach the department. Yeah.
So I have just one more
So the
question.
last question, there are 5 rebuttals. So this will be the last question regarding this topic.
So my one question is,
Mm-hmm.
in this entire process that we have been discussing about so far,
Mm-hmm.
um, apart from whatever you have highlighted in the last discussion so far, do you
Mm-hmm.
think there is some room for improvement in the way the programs have been described so far? And if so, how would you go about making some change to this? Like, do you have any suggestions about making this better, more implementable?
In terms of policy or so the improvement what I have proposed is to just what have a dialogue with the industry and bring in more design the minor programs in agreement with the industry. Plus also if you see that I think the one question actually which I missed was like how many minor programs are already floated for masters. So I believe only one that is one minor program in MBA related to that. If that is if there are any other you can correct me there. So this is the only thing which I came across when I was looking for what are the available minor courses in for masters. So this is one thing. Other than that, policy wise, I don't see. I mean, the current policies are okay for awarding the minor degree. I feel it is my opinion.
Okay.
It's more about
So
bringing more courses. Yeah, bringing more
great.
programs. Yeah.
Thank you, all of you. So let us move ahead with another question. So Surya, if you have any question.
Sohin.
No, sorry, Dikshit, you
So,
want, you can.
Dikshit.
No. Sohini is asking the next question.
Okay, so
So,
yeah.
Okay. So, like in your manifesto, you have spoken about the TA allocation policy based on merit.
Right, right.
So, can you please explain like what do you mean by the merit-based system?
Yeah, yeah.
What is the
First,
criteria
I'll
that you thought of?
right. Yeah. First I'll clarify that this is mainly for instruments and laboratory TAs, not for course TAs. Course TAs, it's already there is a process for application. For at least for few courses, there is a process for applying for the TA, and the professor will usually do it through the merit based allocation. So what I am proposing for what I mean by merit based TA allocation policy is that uh, usually professors choose who they like based on their interest or their recommendation from their colleagues, etc. Instead of that, if there is a process to apply for that particular instrument, the application for the TA of that instrument, and by going through all the applications, if we can choose who can apply for this either based on their CPI. So CPI, this is the easier option because only we have to look at their current CPI in the ASC. If not, there is another option in cases where the instrument needs a sophisticated knowledge. What we can do is we can have a exam. I think one or two departments have this process, and we can make it as a rule that you take an exam for that instrument and then allocate the teacher, depending on who scores better.
Do you know of the departments? You just mentioned that one or two departments are currently using this method. So do you know of the departments that have employed this method?
What I heard is in electrical there is one instrument. I don't exactly remember which instrument because I didn't verify it personally. So in electrical there is one instrument where they conduct an exam for that. I think if I'm wrong, electrical department.
Just exam and CPI that you have thought of for T allocation, right?
Yeah, merit based. Yes.
Okay. And will it be done manually, or have you thought of any other alternative like?
These exams have to be conducted through online. It's better that way, and because we can streamline the process. And I suggest that it should be a multiple choice kind of this thing exam. But of course, for this we have to take the opinions of the corresponding professor in charges.
Anybody else has a rebuttal you can ask?
What do you think are the issues that you will face getting this implemented?
I think the issue will be the personal interest of the professors in charges, because currently they allocate based on who their friends and who he actually needs the that particular instrument for their own research work. So based on that, the allocation is being done. There is one problem of misuse. Of course, that whenever we make any policy, there is a chance of misuse. And that is that if suppose a person wants to do it, even though he has no interest in that instrument regarding his research work. So there is that problem that a person who doesn't actually need it for his research work, but he is trying to get some knowledge. It's better for him, but that will rob other student from that opportunity. So that problem might come up, but there will always be problems, and a transparent process definitely can be improved later to solve these problems.
Okay.
If it's a transparent process. Yes.
As it stands right now, the professor in charge of that instrument has a lot of say in the matter, right?
Right.
And whatever you're proposing will take away any discretion that professor has in selecting the TAs.
Right.
And so, it's not good. How are you going to convince them that this is the best process for as far as they are considered? There is no issue at all, right? Things are working fine according to them. So how are you going to convince them that that's not the case, and this system has to change a little, and you'll have to sacrifice a bit of your control?
Yeah, so I have thought about this. So to convince them, first of all, we know that this is a transparency issue. That some process has to be done to make it transparent. And what I am thinking of proposing is because most of the instruments have multiple slots. So if we have a system where a particular number of slots are given based on this merit-based allocation, and in a set of slots, slots in the sense the TA slots, TA hours are divided throughout the week. So few of those slots will be given to the people of the professor's choice. That if they can make that sacrifice, then it will be helpful for both parties.
Any more rebuttals or clarifications?
No. So I think so we can go ahead with the next question. So this question I want to ask.
Oh.
Sorry. can you explain to me what are the current issues that are related to CSIR fellowship disbursement? Or let me read. Can you tell me what are the different FA category, fellowship awardee categories in IIT Bombay? And out of that, can you tell me what is the status of CSIR and UGC fellowship?
Okay. What are the FA categories? I mean, definitely we know CSR and this thing is there, CSIR fellowship, that is through NET and UGC NET through UGC NET. Other than that, there is DST inspired students who come through MSc usually, and there is PMRF. Okay, so these are the few things coming up on top of my mind now, right now. So out of this, if I say,
what are the issues faced by CSIR specifically?
right, so this problem I have seen even before coming to IITB, when I was doing a project, MTech project in CSA, CSA Chandigarh. So what happens is there is a lot of delay for CSA fellowship, the disbursement of CSA fellowship. Actually, the that stipend gets mixed up in the administrative process. So inside each institute and as well as in the CSIR this thing CSIR labs, their administration, and because of that, people sometimes get the stipends even like once in a year, once in 6 months. That even that kind of situation is happening in different institutes. Coming to IITB, I think many efforts have been already done by the current council on that, in streamlining the process inside the institute, inside IITB, and now and putting pressures from the institute side to the CSIR board to allot the fellowships in time. So this is what I think will be the next step forward for the the next candidate who is going to join the PGs.
I have one. I'm sorry. I am not clear as to what you think are the problem faced by CSIR from the institute side. Like I didn't get you.
Okay. So from the institute side, the problem is like one is there is no because this since it's already almost taken care of, so it will be a redundant this thing point now. But anyway, I will make you. I mean, I will tell what my understanding is. My understanding is that the administration, the people who handle the CSIR fellowship and related to that, like we have to send document, the attendance, etc., to the CSIR, and then
Okay.
they will disperse the fellowship. Problems with them, then it gets stuck in some of the one table for a long time, etc. So, and usually the till now before the PGS is that till the onus was on the student to follow up on it, and he had to, I mean, he or she had to go there and check what is the status of their fellowship. So PGSC can help in streamlining it, even it can help in digitizing it even further. A few steps are already taken, so we can even further digitize it to make sure that everything is visible to students, as well as they won't get stressed because while waiting for their fellowship.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question on this. Suppose you resolve the issues here in IITB. Like in IITB, they are sending fellowship documents on time. It is transparent to all the students and all. But CSIR is making the delay. So what will be your approach in solving that problem from the CSIR side?
From the CSI side, of course, first thing is we have to, from the student side, we have to convey the problem that there is a problem to the this thing CSIR. Plus, we also have to take the help of the IIT administration, because the CSIR board is formed by mostly, even IITB, the IIT directors are part of the CSIR board. So we can put a pressure from the institute side as well as from the institute side to make sure that they are dispersed. Even there are some other, like external members to external members, we can convey the same message that okay, this is a problem, that we please disperse the fellowship as fast as possible.
Okay. So, any other questions?
I don't think so.
No.
Surya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a follow-up question. I thought like we can move to the next question if there's no follow-up question.
Yes. Now ask the next question.
Yeah. So, hi Krishnaraj, you mentioned in your manifesto about institutional repository. So,
Right. Maintains a institutional repository of different publications that have been done from the institute of faculties, and even the project reports, etc. Right. So what else? If you go to that website and see how we can search through the different available publications, etc., it's a tedious job. Uh, it's not very user friendly. You can't tag, search for a particular area of interest very easily. So what I am suggesting is to improve, in collaboration with the central library, to improve the user friendliness of that website. We can tag the different documents depending on the keywords in them. Topic, we can search like that. So what I'm proposing is to provide that functionality, improve the user friendliness of that website.
So
it's just okay. Yeah.
no, carry on. Sorry.
No, so it's just the interface that you're talking about. It's not about the content, is it?
Content wise, there is some problems, like not all the what we say, the PhD thesis and MTP projects are not properly updated there. So that is one issue, but that's what it is, case by case basis. There is some issue with, there can be issues with even the document going to them or updating regular updates. So yeah, main issue I'm tackling is, I'm thinking of tackling is the user friendliness. Once we know that, we can easily identify like what our content doesn't go up there, and we can even take steps to solve that issue.
So, okay, what will be the potential pitfalls like in implementing that, like implementing all PhD theses going online? Like, what do you identify? Like going ahead, what will be the major problem that you'll face while trying to carry out this?
Right. So in for few of the PhD thesis, there is a problem if in case there is an IP related issue. They are applying for patent or anything like that. We have to No, I only think it's a problem of how you implement technically. You should have a better good team of engineers to do that. And one more thing is that already documents which are already uploaded, we have to tag them. We have to create tags for that. We have to go through the document tag. So that is more of how much work you have to do than like what are the main. There is not a big problem which we can't solve. There is a lot of work on that. That's the main issue I feel.
Okay, Dikshit, you.
Yeah. So the next question, Krishna, is this: you are proposing to create a token system for accessing instruments in the departments, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. Are you aware of this being implemented anywhere in the institute currently? If yes, how is it done?
Seen the emails. I didn't register the exact department name at that time. Uh, I
Are you
am
aware of
not.
a department? Are you aware of SAFE facilities?
Yeah, SAFE facility I am available, but it is not online token system. As, in the SAFE facility, it's like you can I have gone through the website. So what I found was the option to select this thing. Request for the slot there, but there the problem is that you don't have real time mentioning that how much time you can expect the your slot to come up, and what is the queue for that instrument.
No. Your slot is given like on the calendar.
Mhm.
On the
Right,
calendar,
right.
they'll say from this time to this time you will get to work.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
So
then I missed that point because
how how can
yeah.
that be any clearer, right? Any
Central facilities already listed there. Other things we can add there.
okay.
Yes.
In that case, which methods are currently being used to manage the instrument usage in departments? Because it's happening. Like people are using departments instruments from other departments, or
Physically fill a form and give it to the operator there, saying that okay, I want a slot for that, and they will take all the forms. They will physically paper applications you have. So that is the current process there. Other than that, like with the pandemic coming, few of the processes have been improved. Like instead of physically giving the form, they are making it. You can submit and fill it and send it through email. We will allot the slot for that. So that has to be brought in line with the safe facility, for example, which you told. So that has to be brought in line with that process, the online token system. And the problems which we may face is one is to bring all the instruments online. We have to collaborate with each department to bring it, make it a website where we can improve the same, but yes, the facilities like focused for their this thing instruments. It's said to be decided whether we bring a new website or through them. So bringing the system to online, uh, other than the slot availability, the allocating the slots, there is one more problem which may face is because currently the people, the TAs and even in charges, they don't go through the slot system. So how to make them adjust to the online slot system?
Are going to just use a Google Calendar, public calendar where they set up the slots, because the prior one requires the a lot of work. The later one is much easier.
Much easier, but then again the transparency issue comes, right? I mean, on
No, it's
what
a
basis
public.
did the professor? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Hmm.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Please.
carry on. No, it's a publicly available calendar. So
Yeah, I mean, if professor has to manually go and allot, and if the professor allots serially from one day to next day, then that can be automated, right? That can we can automate the system so that as soon as the
anyone generate a token, or does one require prior permission from the professor in charge of the equipment to take a token?
Here there will be categories, different categories, like for central system and department systems. We don't
Think
need a
of
prior permission.
think of
Yeah.
systems in general. Okay, if it's a department system, does it require HOD's permission?
Uh, there are already few of the department systems for which they don't need prior permission from the HOD. Only thing is they need approval from their supervisor saying that okay, this you can use this system. For external, yeah, for external systems, current scene is that it will go. You have to send the form to the HOD and come in, then approve it and give the slot. So what we can do for externals who like
I'm not
monetize
talking
the
about
system.
externals. I'm talking about students from IIT Bombay.
Okay.
Not all systems are accessible by everyone. Even
Right,
now,
right, right.
even if like only institute systems and ones who are funded by the institutes are generally used by anybody with some permissions
Correct.
from
Correct.
project in charge, of course.
Correct.
But some systems in the department and some systems in the purview of specific professors, they're not free for use. You need
Right, right.
permission from. So what are you going to
Yeah.
do
So
about this?
the instruments which are on, I mean, they have all the students of that particular department have permission, and even the external other department students have the permission. It can be
They don't have the
easily.
no. They don't have the permission, not by default. No.
But not by
Then
default. You have to get the permission of the HOD, right? The of course even the supervisor is mandatory. You have to have your signature of the supervisor, and even
So
that
Dikshit,
process can be streamlined through workflows. Yeah, yes.
no, it's
yeah.
okay. So Dikshit, the thing is that we can end the debate. I mean, this one, what you say, manifesto-based discussion, because we have finished the time. So,
No, there are a few more points that we can ask. We need to ask actually.
but I think so. The time limit is getting exceeded, so we can go with one more question, and then go ahead with the topic debate section.
Okay,
Yours.
I'll ask. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll ask one more question.
if I may, I'll just make that final this thing on that point. Okay.
Okay,
Is that
okay.
yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. There when we make the online system, definitely there are different workflows which we can implement depending on what type of system it is, right? So we can automatically send it for approval of the supervisor, and after that, if that is you are from a different department, you can send it to the approval of the HOD and then go for the slot allotment. That can be again automated in the system, right?
Okay.
So all the processes which are already there will be implemented in the system, and in case like if suppose some of the systems don't really need the HOD's permission, it is just a part of the process. They have kept it there so that okay the due process is followed. In such cases, we can eliminate that extra step. That depends on the department. We have to talk to the department and see why exactly that permission
Okay.
from the HOD is kept there.
Radhik, um, this
Yes.
this time restriction, like if it gets delayed, will there be a problem with the other soapbox, or it's just because it is
I
mentioned
don't
we are following
understand.
it?
Don't understand. I mean, like the thing is that this is an independent this one. For small ups and downs is acceptable.
Oh. So okay, we'll try to be quick, but we'll like ask as many questions as we can, because he doesn't have a opponent, right? So
Yeah.
the whole the the whole discussion has
So
to be with us.
the argument that comes here is that if Krishna's soapbox is increasing a bit, and if it is clashing, there is another general secretary cultural, I think, so whose soapbox is also going to start a little bit. So the audience might be divided between the two. Is a question that is being asked.
This has like 20 people on board.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
So
question that was asked to me, so that's why I don't
that's
understand.
fine.
People are only it's
Yeah.
okay.
Out
We
of
can
that,
extend
10 are
it.
panel
Whoever has
members.
interest can leave or stay and then see the soapbox according to
Yeah, online. Yeah, good. Okay, then
So
we'll go through all the questions then, most of them at least.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sohini, you have a question?
Yeah. So, Krishna, in your resume, you have, sorry, manifesto, you have mentioned about like increasing the participation of PG students in the placement team, right? So, do you feel the placement team is under the purview of Gymkhana?
No. Placement team is not under the purview of Gymkhana. So, yeah,
Is it
already
under
the,
PGAC and GSA PG?
no, it is not under any academic team.
Okay.
So what already happened, right? As we all know that director and the after the Ask Me Anything sessions, and even before that, the discussions were going on about how to improve the representation of PG students in that, and there are many initiatives that is being taken. There is restructuring of the placement team taking being done by the listing director and directors and team. So there they are considering, what I understood is that they are considering if we can keep a representative of the PGAC in the placement team, or taking suggestions from the PGAC in restructuring. So in that case, we need to push for more representation, make sure that there is a separate vertical inside the team for PG people, that is masters and PhD.
So, what
It is
strategy
there
have you
already.
planned to increase the number of PG students in the placement team?
Yes,
What
yes,
strategy have
placement.
you thought of?
So what I heard is that even for when we say the placement managers in the team, so almost everyone is from UG,
How
right?
many
They,
are
at
there
least
right now?
this time
How many PMs are there
there
right
are
now?
four, right, for the PM, I guess.
Okay. So do you know the division of the placement managers? Like, what are the divisions under which they work?
No, I haven't discussed about that with the placement CC. Few of the CCs I have talked about. What
Uh,
they conveyed me is that they don't know requirements of PG students and how to approach the
uh,
companies for specific roles of the PGs.
may I
Yes, yes.
interject in just a minute? So there is a vertical for PGs.
Right.
No, there is no.
Then,
No, there is a
What
vertical
I
for PGs.
the
No,
vertical
there
is
is
there,
a
but
no.
he
Let,
was
let him,
guiding
let
some.
him, let him, Radhik, let him.
Yeah, yeah.
So there
yeah.
is a
So
vertical.
the vertical
There
you are
are two
talking about is
verticals, in
that
fact.
division of the roles among the placement managers, saying that okay, you handle this one and you handle this one. So what I'm
That is
saying
already
that
there.
yeah. So what I'm saying that there should be a separate vertical saying in the sense those who are handling the PG placements should be PG students. So PG managers should be compulsory. It should be compulsory. It should not be optional. Now the case in current days, there is no limitation saying that PG students should not be PM project managers. But also there is no rule saying that they should be project managers. Placement
I want to
managers.
say something here.
So what is the issue? I mean, apart from that, specifically mentioning that a person should be from PG,
Right.
why aren't PG people there? That can't be the only reason, right?
uh, this becomes like I it's a
This this connects to what
what
Sohini asked. This question connects to what Sohini asked. How are you going to increase the numbers?
so I'll first answer the question like why there aren't many PG students are becoming PMs. Okay, so this it becomes like an allegation thing right now if I discuss it. But what I heard from the say the members whom I can't disclose of course. So they're saying that it seems the current managers are from the UG, it becomes like they will select their favorite students who are from the UG itself. But yeah, I mean those are allegations. I'm not sure whether that is exactly what is happening there. So at least from students, that's what I heard. That is the concern they are having that okay, there is a bias towards UG from there. So first thing is to make sure that there is a PG person handling the PG recruitments, PG placements, and then making policy. Improving the approach to the industries for the roles of PG and PhD students in the for the placement.
I
So
have
that
a
will be the
question
main
here.
point. Yes.
No, I feel I need to say something here. In the previous years, do you think there were PG people involved as placement managers?
I heard, I mean, again, I didn't go through the list. I heard that there were instances where PG people came into the team, became the placement managers.
Right. So this year, do you know the number of so since you are saying that, do you know why this year there is no PG placement team member?
Exact reason I really don't.
How many people applied last year from PG for the post? Do you know?
No, I don't.
There were
Okay.
two people who had applied, but they were found unsuitable on further scrutiny. That is why
One, I don't think even completed the groundwork, as far as I remember.
this reshuffling had taken.
Yeah. Okay. Um, uh,
So in that case, this message has to be clearly conveyed to the PG community so that there won't be any allegations for the placement
yeah.
managers, right? So that step has to be taken, right?
No.
Yeah, and also to bring bring more interest in the PG community to go for that role, so that there will be active participation.
That's what. Yes. Surya. Surya,
Yeah, one second.
do you have any
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, I have questions. So, do you have any particular process changes that has to be done for PhD placements? Like, should they be put through the same processes? Like, that the UG student has put, like an aptitude test? Because this time, do you know the numbers of PhD placements?
This time, this time PG placement is still not published. So what I heard is around like 30. Total in PG it is around 30%. 30% have been placed in PG. I don't know the exact numbers pertaining to UG. I heard it is very low, but I tried to get the information from the place, from the CCs, from the placement team, but they exactly don't know the numbers.
Okay, I was in particular asking about the PhD placements.
So I don't have the exact numbers this time because it's not publicly, it's not published
No.
as a statistics.
You can
It
answer
is on
the
the-
question given by Surya. Like, how do you plan to conduct the placement? What is in your opinion? What should be the way in which placement should happen for PhDs?
So first of all, there is a need to bring in companies which offer jobs for the PhD role instead of making it like all, even masters can apply, even PhD can apply for the same pool. So first thing is that we need to increase the number of companies. This of course depends on how we talk to the different companies, right? Their requirement, we have to understand their requirement and bring in.
Let me interject here. It is not the lack of companies, as far as I've understood. There have been separate job profiles offered for PhDs, especially. But my question was specific to the process. So when the PhD student goes for an offline thing, he is not put through the aptitude test like a bachelor's or a master's is put through. He is recruited in a different way. It is more of a discussion.
Yes,
so
yes.
is it?
I was coming to that point. First thing, of course, if once we have the enough number of companies, because few companies are already showing interest for the PhD student. So once that is done, now there are two ways of making this possible for PhD students. One is to provide make sure that they float projects for the student PhD students and then recruit them of once once the PhD is done. Through that is one way of handling this. Another is when we come to the process. If the PhD student is separately sitting for the placement, he should not be put through the same process as UGs or masters, at least, saying that you go to the aptitude. And in many cases, what is happening is like few of the department students, for them, there is no option to go for, there is a credit system, points they have to get in order to be eligible to sit in a company, right? So few students complain that they have only aptitude the tests available to gain those points. There is no their field related questionnaires or questions tests through which they can gain points. So that same problem comes to the PhDs as well. If you are going to put a point-based eligibility system, you have to make tests which are particular to their field of research, field of work, so that they can give that test, prove their eligibility, and then go and sit in the system and sit in the placement, which should be, of course, separate from masters, and even masters should be separate, and then you should be separate placement interview process.
Okay.
I hope I am clear on that.
So, like,
Aditya,
you are a GSA PG. You are a GSA. If you become a GSA PG, you only say that Gymkhana. PMs don't come under Gymkhana, and placement cell is independent. So, how are you going to? In case this issue is happening, how are you going to tackle it as a GSA?
So, of course, the PGSC should be talking to the students and communicating whatever concerns they have to the administration, right? So this process should be going through the administration. We have to convey.
Who are you going
this
to?
Is exactly.
Sorry to interject. Who are you going to contact if you are having this problem?
We have to go through the student affairs, dean student affairs, and communicate to the placement dean placement. Right?
There is no dean placement.
Professor in charge. Placement.
Okay. Dikshit,
Okay. No, Aditya, you have a question? I know you do. So
Yes, yes. That's one.
Aditya,
Yeah, yeah. Hello. Am
yeah,
I audible?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. In your manifesto, you've mentioned a point where it says collaboration with IR in regard to a semester exchange program. So in this case, who are you referring to when you say IR? In IR.
I mean, I was referring to actually the international relations team, which is handling, I mean, which is making MOUs with the different institutes to provide the this thing, exchange programs. They are building, creating MOUs and they are uploading in this thing, but that information is not clearly coming to the students. Okay, it's
Wait,
not clearly.
who in
Hmm.
that team? Like you can't just approach anybody in the team, right? Who are you going to approach?
I guess it is the Dean Aya. I don't remember the exact post for that. This thing, the nomenclature, I am not exactly aware of.
Are
But
you
of course,
are
there
you
will be.
going to
Mhm.
approach that team, or you are going to depute someone or task someone to approach?
Actually, there is one. In the PGAC, there is the international relations post coming up, right? So that post we can use to.
It's an upcoming post, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we can
What's the
use that
post?
post. It was international ISIR, I guess.
Is there an ISIR
Actually,
position present right now?
It's no, it's coming up. It's being. I think it's already approved. We have to.
No, it's
It's,
already there.
it's already there. One
it's
student is
okay.
already
Okay.
there.
So currently it is UG student who represent both UG academic affairs as well as PG academic affairs. It's a single post now. So we are.
Oh.
I am trying to say that okay, we have to make a separate post for PG to tackle this.
Right. Since you mentioned it, do you know the current procedure for a semester exchange? Should a what is the current process that needs to be followed if somebody wants to go for a semester exchange program?
Um, what I understand is that first you have to, of course, you have to go through the website to see which program is of your interest. You have to then go and individually contact the professors in that institute to make them agree to your to take you to that this thing institute. And once that is done, you can apply from through your department, and you have to get the permission from the uh, evaluation committee, PEC, I guess, and then you apply to the IR. Then they will finalize the that your permission to travel there, and yeah, that is pretty much the process.
Okay, I missed the first part. Sorry, I couldn't hear you properly. What is the first part before taking
We have
department
to go.
permission?
Yeah, we have to. Before that, it's purely from the student side that you have to go and check in the website whichever exchange program you are interested in. You have to, of course, talk with your supervisor to make sure that he is in line with that. He or she agrees with that, and then you individually talk to the professors, any professor in that particular institute. Usually, that all the MOUs which I read are found in that way that okay, students have to talk to the professor in that institute, get him to agree to take you as the exchange student, and then you submit the details to the department.
Okay. What is the process? How are you going to improve the
Um,
opportunities?
right. So in this case, what I mean by improving is that we have to give the information to the students in the early stage, saying that okay, these are the different semester exchange options you have for your particular department, and these are the requirements, these kind of profiles you have to build so that you can get the approval from both that host institute as well as from your department. So it's more of sensitizing the student, I mean, it's not sensitizing, giving information to the student about the process, and making sure that uh, they are interested in, because it is not enough if you just float the programs there and say. So you have to build interest in the student community as well. So that part
Okay.
I'm thinking of addressing.
Okay. Got it. So, okay, I have next question. Can you name a few tech team events?
Recently, there was a tech team event, right? The technical team conducted for both PG and PGs. So, other than that, you want me to remember like exactly the names or?
No, in general, no, 2-3 events. No, you mentioned PG focused events, right? I assume that you
Right.
know what are the events that are happening now. Are they PG specific or not? PG focused.
Right.
So for you to know whether they are PG focused or not, you need to know what events are happening, right?
Right, correct.
Yeah.
So now what my understanding, what I have been in the institute for like 1.5 years now. So what I say is there is no PG specific events for a PG student. There are events on robotics. There are events on many aerospace related events, etc. So which are, of course, one can argue that okay, those are mostly of research oriented events where the students do extra work to get that get into that event. So what I am saying is that that is not equally divided throughout all the departments. There are few departments departments in which the students still can't participate in the events because they don't have the specific skill set for that particular event. Like the mainly focused the current scenario, the events are mainly focused around electrical engineering and aerospace engineering, etc. Even there are some cases where like rural
No, you have
related.
events for bio background people. You have events for
Right.
computer background people. You have event for material science, chemistry, chemical people. So
Right. So what I'm saying is that say those events which are there, they are related to some application, right? So there are two main categories. One is for example, what I do is I do simulations. I do DFT simulations. Mine is not related pertaining to any particular application, which can be easily seen by people, the normal populace. So there should be more events related to those specific areas where they can't immediately in 1 year they can produce a product which becomes easily like a public or popular product. So we need to increase those kind of events which are apart from, like, of course CS is one place
but
where you can conduct
but how
I,
are
hackathons
I,
and
I I want to
but
ask a couple of
but how are
follow-ups.
they
Dikshit,
PG focused? Yeah.
Dikshit, can
Sorry.
I?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Aditya.
Yeah, just adding to what Dikshit is saying, a little while ago you mentioned certain fundamental techniques, being fundamental techniques that need to be touched upon. Then you are suddenly saying that they don't have any particular application, the kind of workshops that you are looking for. But when when you say PG focused technical event, so uh, I I am getting slightly confused. When you say
yeah,
PG
Aditya,
yeah.
your
technical event,
audio is very poor.
oh, I'm sorry. Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I'm getting a little confused with the PG's focused technical events. See, the kind of events that you mention, especially if you talk about DFT workshop. Now, that is is that something that needs to be organized at an institute level, or can a few group of departments which actually do have that kind of work, can they do that together? So when you are saying PG focused technical events, many of these projects that Dikshit has mentioned a little while ago, they have a sizable
Right.
component of application that is already there. There is
Correct.
there is nothing really that stops PGs from becoming a part of it. So when you say PG focused technical events, do you have any specific ideas other than that need to be held at an institute level, at a departmental level, or at a few departmental level? These events can easily be organized, and Radix Council has been, in fact, the councils previously have been organizing a lot of these events.
Right, right. So if I clarify the point which I mentioned here, so I'm talking about increasing the number of such events, right? So one example I will give you, like suppose it is continuing the example which I had given earlier. I am a simulation guy. I do DFT simulations. Now I can be considered as part of, okay, I do simulations particularly in the material science, but it comes under the purview of computer science related this thing. So if you make a single event for computer science, where I say, I do a hackathon on different implementing different algorithms, that become then my chance of contesting there and excelling in there is less, because my work is focused on a small part of the entire this thing. What are applications can be possible in CS. So by saying PG focused, what I'm saying is, so particular department specific, what are the top research areas or the technical areas where that department works. In that department, we can conduct more and more technical events. I'm not saying that currently there are no technical events. I'm saying that we can increase the frequency even where there are very less in some areas. There in some areas that it's already there, so we don't need to focus much on that. We don't have to increase much on that. We have to continue that. But in areas where there are lack of events, we have to increase it.
No, that's not what you're writing. You said specifically PG focused events. Even if you even if you conduct an event like this, how do you make sure that it's PG focused? Either you have to tag it as PG only events, or it will be an open event like any other event. How it will be PG focused event?
PG focused in the sense of excellence. So this is the meaning of the word. What is PG focused mean? PG focused is those
No,
events which
I'm asking you
cater
because
to,
everything that you
One
described.
second, Dikshit. The issue is that the rebuttals, I mean, the limitation of the rebuttal as per rule is 5, and so there is only one
Sorry, how many
rebuttal.
rebuttals happened?
It happened. I mean, 4 has happened with this one, so I'm just getting. You can have one more.
Yeah, this is the last one, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm asking him. He has mentioned in all of the descriptions he gave after the question. He identified some limited number of events that are happening, and we need more. So, but that does not still qualify a PG. Those events won't still qualify as PG focused events, right? UGs can still come like they do right now. So, does he mean PG only event or PG PG focused event when he says that? Is it PG only event?
Right. Yeah, please complete the question.
No, that's my question.
Yeah. So if I had said that it is PG only event, then yeah, of course, we have to restrict only the PG students. In this case, I am not saying that we should, ban the UG students from coming into these events. I am saying that we have to create a playing field where PG students can play at par with there, because they are more focused into a particular area now than when they were in a PG UG course. So I am saying we have to bring such events which are PG focused but not limited to only PG. Of course, even creating only PG events is not bad. But in my case, I didn't suggest that one. I suggested like PG focused in the sense pertaining to some
your whole point was about interdisciplinary cooperation. If you're getting into niche It's a niche knowledge. It's not interdisciplinary, right?
Yes, definitely. So when I say interdisciplinary, yeah, this is the next but okay.
So
Interdisciplinary. So see, one thing is that when you do participate in these kind of events, you will come to know what actually happens in those departments, right? So UG in general, okay, will say CS, okay, you have, you know,
no. You
programming is
got my
happening there.
question wrong. Sorry. See, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is, you said that
Mm-hmm.
you gave your example. You work in a specific field. You're saying that there
Right,
aren't many events happening in that specific field, right?
right.
But you wanted
Mm-hmm.
to. Whole point was about having PG focused events to facilitate
Mm-hmm.
that interdisciplinary discussion.
Right, right.
So if you are concentrating on events that are specific to one
Mm-hmm.
particular field or narrowing
Mm-hmm.
into a niche, how is that
Mm-hmm.
other objective of yours is fulfilled to make it
Right.
interdisciplinary?
Okay. So in my case, the example which I gave, so my field is related to simulation, but that field is interdisciplinary already. So people from chemical can come in, people from various departments come into that simulation area. So that is one thing. Again, other than that, even if we conduct an event which is only focused towards mechanical, where other people might not be able to participate, still that brings into forefront those particular areas and makes other students aware that okay, this kind of research happens here, which will help them in thinking about their new problems where this can be combined together.
Okay. Uh,
So I think
I
so.
have one more question.
Sorry.
After that, I'm done.
No, Dikshit. The thing is that already the number, the time allotted for topic-based question based on manifesto is
Oh,
over.
okay. Sorry,
Otherwise,
my
we
bad.
have to go for
Okay,
the
topic based.
topic-based. So in the let me check it out. 5 topics were shared with Krishna today. Okay. So I would request, like, if, you already know the numbers. So I would request the panelists to give select 2 topics, and or let's do one thing. Amog, are you there? Amog Kavatekar.
Radhik, may I
Uh,
suggest something?
yeah.
We have listed these topics as numbers, right? We can ask him to
Yes.
select 2 numbers
No,
between
that
1
cannot
to.
be done because he already
Yes.
knows those numbers.
Yes, yes, yes.
That is the issue. So I would
Someone
take
else
independent
can
person.
choose the random number.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Okay, so
Akshay,
Radhik, I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, Amog is done. So Amog, can you choose 2 numbers between 1 to 6?
Okay, let's just do 2 and 5.
2 and 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So the number 2 is okay. Aditya, the number 2 is of the Surya. The number 2 is of dropout of PhD or master student, and 2 and 5 is accountability of students and faculty. So I would request the panelists to ask questions according to these 2 topics. I would repeat: dropout of PhD or master students, and accountability of students and faculty. These are the 2 topics. So you can ask questions to Krishna based on the same.
Okay. Krishna, regarding dropout of PhD and master students, what we wanted to ask you is, have you identified the key factors influencing a student to drop out of a PhD program or a master student out of the program? And what are your plans to mitigate the same, apart from counseling the student after he comes up with the problem as a reactionary response when he has already made up his mind? So counseling, is it a reactionary response? If you're telling like even before it happens you counsel, then how is it different from what programs IITB Care already does? So what are the key factors that you have come across which influences a student to drop out of the program?
So there are different factors we can say for MTech and PhD. First thing is, if for an MTech student, there can be mainly like personal issues related to their family or their friends, etc. That is one thing. There is problem with the the monetary situation in the home. Again, it comes under personal, but a different kind of personal issue. The monetary issues there, and then if he is going for the MTech student, he or she is going for a job. He or she got a job, and they are leaving because they see better prospects there. Then that is another thing. And the final thing is with the problems with the supervisor, the MTech project supervisor in that case, in the master's case, MTech or the other master's students. So the first three cases, the problem is we will exactly won't know it beforehand, saying that we won't know whether, I mean, who has personal problem. Only thing we can do is that if we can train some students to identify such symptoms in the students, we can't call it symptoms, that signs in the students that they are going through some depression or mental health issues. We can, if we can train the students to identify it and report it to the wellness center, or I mean, not without the consent of the student, of course. If we can convince the student to say, okay, if you are going through a problem, we have in IIT has a good system of counseling, etc., where we can sit and think about various options to mitigate your personal problems. That is one thing where where proactively we can approach the students, and try to see if we can reduce the people who are dropping out. Uh, then, when it comes to the problem of problem with the supervisors. So in that case, I think already the current PGC is working on one. They have been proposed is that periodic reporting of your work. So in that case, I mean, the problem, if in case some professor is saying that you haven't worked much, etc. So this, in that case, such measures can be used to say that, okay, no, we are working fine. I have worked. This is the proof of that. That is one option where, because if we implement such a system, then even the professors would think before doing that. I'm putting allegation on the professor saying that they will do that. I'm just saying that in case anything, all kind of possibilities are there. So in case that happens, there is a deterrent for that through that periodic work this thing reporting system. But of course, I haven't added it in my manifesto because it's already being taken care of. And of course, there is a limited number of points which you can add in the manifesto. There is a limit for that. And similar thing comes when we come to the PhD. Same thing happens with the professors. If there is any problem with the professor, we can tackle it through periodic work reporting. Or there is one more case, that is, if suppose your professor is saying that you haven't worked for this time, that's why I'm terminating. There should be a mechanism to notify the student beforehand, give a warning saying that, okay, you are not working, and if you do continue this, that's like a two-strike system. So first strike is you send a notice and give warning saying that you have to work, and then even then, if the student and the next, after the notice again, if he doesn't work, then of course you can start the proceeding to terminate the student. So in that case, the student gets the chance to at least record that he is working, even though he didn't do it before that first notice. He can do that now, so that there is a proof that he has worked, or he or she has worked. So
Okay. How
yeah.
different is this from the APS system? APS also gives you chances, right? Like that is
Yes,
one part of it. Let me also, I
Mhm.
find a lacuna in the point that you mentioned first. Like, you'll train students to identify that someone is going through some problem. Do you think it is easy, even for professionals? It is very difficult to identify someone going through stress. Uh, And like, how are you going to train students even before somebody reports, they identify that someone is going through a problem? Don't you think it
Okay.
is?
I mean, it is not tough to identify people are going through the problem. The toughness comes in identifying what is the actual problem they are going through. So for that, definitely we have to direct them to the professionals. But there are I mean, there are ways to identify if suddenly a person stops being socializing, or if he, I mean, so there are ways to identify if a person is going through some problems in that. So through those professional guidance, I mean counselors, we the counseling this thing, we can train at least some students to say that okay, these are the main identifiers through which you can see if there is a problem in, I mean, if a student is going through a problem, then you can
Okay.
report it to the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more attached question to this. Like, let's say
Mm-hmm.
I've identified problem with you, and then there is always a stigma associated with counseling. You tell someone that you are going through a problem, and like, would you take that? Like, would you like tag someone, like, you have a problem, you have to go check up with a professional? So is it how is it going to work?
Uh, yeah, again, when we say we have to train the students, we have to make sure that we sensitize how important is the privacy of the student. That person won't be like made an outcast in the society, the community. So that also has to be taken care of in the training.
Okay. The other point was about the APS. So how is it this workflow documentation different from APS
Yeah.
reviews?
So here the problem comes, APS happens only once a year. So in between, I mean, if I have take one exam, there was one student which I came across who gave the APS last year, and after that, before there was 1 year, there is 1 year gap in between the next APS, right? So before he could give the next APS, the professor said that you haven't worked, so I'm terminating you. So in such cases, if there is a periodic reporting of the one done by that student, maybe in 1 month or 3 months, that has to be decided based on the workload which we can allow for the student. So that part, I think the current BGC is still working on. They are proposing something. That dialogue still has to happen and identify what is the optimum time for this reporting. And also there is one more thing, that is we need to make sure that neither the student or the professor will be given an overload so that they hesitate to do that, they prefer not to do that. So that's that, how to of that periodic reporting, that has to be figured out so that it is a simple process and not a very tedious job for both parties.
Have you discussed this periodic review thing with any of the friends you know, students?
Yes, I have.
And they thought it was a good idea?
That's where the point comes in, that you can't say that okay, exactly this is how you have to do it. If you say you give a PPT every 3 months, or you send a report every 3 months, that is definitely not going to work, because students don't want to do that. But of course, there will be one clause that it should be initiated from the student. Student has to voluntarily do that, and of course that should not increase the burden on the professor as well. It should be that there are ways to do that in enterprise management systems. There are ways to digitize this so that the minutes of the meeting can be sent and signed by the professor whenever they meet, because periodic meetings definitely happen in the research scenario. So those meetings, if we can make it an official document, so then that becomes easier. There it won't be a much of task for the student. So that kind of middle ground has to be found for this.
One connected question. You told some two strikes system. So are you going to penalize the student again? Like, it is like having 3 APSs in a year. Like, it is not. It will become semesterly, like every quarterly progress seminar.
Right.
So it should. Don't you think it should come as as an aid for the student who is dropping out, rather than you're increasing chances of student being like I don't know, like they drop out because they think they feel pressure. So don't you think it is counterintuitive?
Yeah, the two strike system which I mentioned, that is actually a requirement to terminate a student. If the professor wants to terminate the student from his PhD this thing admission, then there should be at least two strikes given to the students. So that is the safety mechanism for the student rather than for the professor
Two,
to aid in
two strikes,
terminating.
two strikes of what?
Two strikes in the sense he has to send two notices, minimum two notices, at least 3 months apart before he can terminate the student. The professor has to send.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Two strike system is of APS.
No. See, I'm not talking about APS two strike system. I'm talking about a system where again two strike means you have done two things wrong. So two strike system for termination of a student. That's what I'm talking about.
There is no set process for terminating a student in between APSs. If I clear one APS till the next APS, there is little a guide can do to terminate me, unless I have done something egregious. That's a different process. Otherwise, there is no set process for termination of a student between APSs. Can't do it.
Yeah, that might happen in TAP.
I don't know where you heard this.
In TAP category student, for TAP category students, they can say that I am terminating your PhD this thing funding. If you want, you can go and find some other source of funding. You can't work with me. This has happened. I can't give the names, but this can happen.
No, that's fine, but that's what. It's not the registration of PhD. PhD, it can't be terminated. Funding is a possibility.
That's where the dropout comes in, right? So dropping out means you are dropping out. Why are you dropping out? Because you lost your funding.
No,
you are
not
getting
necessarily.
any fellowship.
No,
in
that's
that
what.
case, I mean,
Listen.
you are dropping out because
Once the funding stops, it's not not the final. It's not a finality. You can challenge that decision.
Yes.
I understand. So that person doesn't have to drop out. If the person thinks that person has done enough work,
right,
there is no need to drop out. That decision by the guide can be challenged. And I think
for that he has to prove that he has worked, right?
And I'm talking about that.
He has to prove that he has worked.
I'm talking about this
please,
strike system. There is no reason for a student to be thrown out of the IIT by the guide or two strike system. You talked about two strike system as a backstop, right, for all of this process.
Right.
So there is no such process where a professor can ask you to leave. Right. If the whole two strike process you're mentioning because professor is asking the student to leave. That's your excuse for instituting a two strike process, right? What I'm saying is that professor can't ask a student to leave the campus or leave the PhD program unless that student has failed two APSs or has done something egregious. That is like, other channels of disciplinary action. Okay. As it stands right now.
Yeah, so that I want to give a clarity there that this system, I mean, the final termination depends on the evaluation committee, the final termination from the PhD registration itself. But a professor can terminate his funding, which may lead to the dropout of that student. It's not necessarily because that student can find some other funding that is there. But when that particular professor says you haven't worked, so I am stopping your funding in the TP scenario, that student has to have some kind of proof to say that he has worked, right? So what I am proposing is that, so even when the professor says you are not done work and hence I am terminating your funding, so before he can terminate the funding, he has to give a notice to the student saying that you are not working. We are giving 3 months time. Please work so that we can. Otherwise, I will terminate you. So the student, at least even if he's not taking care of the collecting the proof thing, then he can in these 3 months he can at least collect the proof to say that he is working, he or she is working. So that is the mechanism I'm talking about.
Cool. Understood. Okay.
Okay.
Now
So I think so. Let us move to the next section. That
another
is the
topic.
no. This topic was about both the topics were discussed, right?
No.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually they were overlapping kind of topics
no.
actually.
The accountability of student and faculty. By
So
very
that is what.
definition, there is an okay. By very
Okay.
definition, there is an inherent disparity of power in student-faculty relationship. Unfortunately, this disparity is obviously seen during the uh, unfortunately, this disparity often translates to different standards of accountability being applied to students and faculty. Right?
Yeah.
Such kind of things are becoming very obvious when the semester is happening online, where the professors are abusing their authority in a lot of cases, and it is being discussed across the campus for different reasons. What measures, in your opinion, can be taken to ensure that this gap is bridged and professors can be held accountable for different reasons?
Okay. So first of all, this online semester, the problems are still coming up because I mean this is a new set of problems which are coming up because of the online semester. What account? I mean the misuse of power. What you mentioned may be like the student. He's setting a course evaluation policy which might be not beneficial to student. That might be one thing. If that is not in your, I mean, please let me know if you have anything other than this in mind. One is that's what the course evaluation policy the professor sets according to his wish, his or her wish. Yeah, that might be not aligning with the students' interest, and then uh, there are problems with grading, of course, and so all these, I think, it will come under the grievances of the PG students, and this has to be handled, I think, through the newly formed grievance portal there. So we can handle it through that. And policy wise, I need further understanding of the situations to make any comment on that.
No, the
Policy wise.
grievance sorry,
Mhm.
grievance portal has no authority over professors.
Right. So that's what. As of now, the process is that students submit their grievances. PGAC goes through that, and PGAC can initiate a dialogue between the student and the professor to make them understand. Okay, this is the student's point of view, and the students are getting unfairly like their options are reduced because of that. I mean, they getting some loss because of that. So I don't think I mean, usually professors are not against any students, so they won't fight with that rigor to say that okay, no, you are saying wrong. But of course, there will be different kind of situations. The PGC has to handle that and think about how to bring a policy to avoid very prominent situations. If there are isolated incidents, then only we can handle it through the PGC. But if there is a recurring of
No,
some of the incidents,
handle it
yes,
through
please.
PGAC. How? PGAC does not have authority of its own.
Right.
So
So
handle it how?
handling. What I mean by handling is first we have to directly speak to. I mean, we have to speak to the student to understand the situation. Once that is
Okay.
done, if we can talk to the supervisor or the professor who is teaching that course and talk to him and make the problem of the student to make it little clear to the professor. And still, if
Okay.
they don't agree, then the next option will be to go into the head of the department, and if not, then we have to involve the dean say and uh, others to and make the department and talk, create dialogue between the different parties. So this is the current process now. There is a different grievance committee of the institute. We can explore if we can integrate the grievance portal of the PGAC and that grievance committee, but
There is no grievance committee in the institute.
they are forming it. Yeah, after the they are in the process of forming it. Yes, it's coming up. So that's what we have to explore how to integrate, like bring in some accountability from the administration side
Sorry,
for the
they are
grievances in the
not.
PGAC.
Sorry, they are not in the process of forming it. They are in the discussion about whether to form it or not. There's a difference.
Okay, then I might have.
Dikshit. I'm sorry to correct you inside this. It is not like whether to form it or not. That this discussion happened and there was a lot of fight. And they said that I told that if you are discussing whether to have it or not, I don't want to be a part of the committee. But then it was said, director had said in that statement that we have to form this. How to form this, how the things should be worked out is what is being discussed.
Okay, then it's good. Sorry, my bad. I only knew of the earlier part of the.
Yeah. The second day, I mean, Rangan was there in the meeting. I told that it is not possible. Then they changed it.
Okay. Good. Sorry, my bad.
Please continue. If there is no other questions in with respect to this section, we can move to the background check section, where a few questions will be asked to you about your previous background of experience in any PORs and what you have mentioned in your resume. If the panel members would like to ask some questions in the earlier one, they can ask. Otherwise, we can move to the next section.
Okay, mention a couple of initiatives you took as a maintenance secretary.
Yeah. So I have been selected as the maintenance secretary in 2019 August September. So after that, I had around till March, I had the opportunity to work inside the hostel, and after that, mainly it was some of the issues which came up in the this hostel that we had handled. Other than that, for 1 year there was nothing. Yeah, I will talk about the
specifics. Yeah.
Right. So specific in the hostel community, mainly it is maintenance committee. It is mainly about handling the what different facilities available in there, right? So it was mainly about handling washing machines, dryers, and water coolers, and even there was a option cycle parking facility there in the this thing. Hostel that was getting renovated, and then even gardening, etc. So all these were the items which were coming under the maintenance committee. So I was mainly handling gardening related, going purchase the different what you call the saplings you need for the garden, and handle the maintenance of dryers, washing machines, etc. So it was mainly about that.
Yeah.
And
one thing is that,
initiatives.
You are asking a question. Yeah, you are asking a question.
Yeah, I said, are there any initiatives? I said.
Yeah.
Initiative. Yes, please.
I was just reiterating his question. He was asking about initiators. You were mentioning the daily activities, the responsibilities of a maintenance counselor. Is there, before coming to the position itself, you would have had some plans, right? Just like now you have some plans. Did you have any plans, or did you formulate, take up something new so that, okay, the washing machines don't go wrong, like there is a periodic maintenance, we created something? That is what Dikshit is asking, I guess, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so initiatives wise, I can't take full credit of any initiative. Of course, I have to give, it's a collective decision of the entire maintenance committee. Few initiatives as a part of the maintenance committee, I can say that one is creating a complaint portal for submitting all the maintenance related problems. Maybe also all those things I mentioned. Then there was option to build a different, putting the gardens, saplings, etc. where, how, and even there was one option to change the library rules. But again, it is in collaboration with all the councils inside the hostel. So forming a library room, and there was work on cameras, the security cameras for the this thing hostel main common areas. So mainly those were the initiatives we have
Okay,
taken.
only one question I have. Like you mentioned, what was interesting again, you told about a portal that you created. So, are you like from your work experience? Like you had 4 years of work experience at Infosys. So, is it like something you do? Like you create portals, like you create backend soft things. That is, what did you? How
Not
did you create a
exactly.
portal?
Portal was actually it's a simple portal for that. In that case, it was a Google Sheet kind of a thing. We implemented the Google Sheet into this thing, website, and we floated that. Nothing specific in that. Otherwise, I mean, I do have the experience of creating websites, but I haven't done that work in the institute till now.
Okay. So I think Akshay wanted to ask a question. So Akshay, if you can unmute yourself and ask a question related to this. Akshay Nair. Yeah.
Yeah, so Krishnaraj, so basically I had a question.
You are not audible. You are not audible, Akshay.
So am I audible now? Hello?
Yeah. There is a still small
Faintly.
voice. Yeah.
Am I audible now?
No, the situation is same.
Okay. Maybe you can type it out or something.
Yeah.
Try once, or you can type it in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question, Krishna. Why did you take the position of main Seki and why not main Co? Why did you go for an election for a main Co and why did you take the nominated position of main Seki?
Because by the time we joined, it was already election was already over.
Oh.
So and the next year election didn't happen. So
again, I will give you another thing. Like there were other Seki positions like Sports Co, Cult Co. Why only main Seki position?
This is because I'm a person who comes across problems a lot, and whenever there is a problem, I need the urge to solve it. I have the urge to solve it. So I thought, I mean, I get agitated if I have a problem and I'm not able to solve it. So I thought, why not put that energy into the proper areas, mainly the problems which day-to-day people face is maintenance related issues. So I thought, why not put that energy into the
what? Okay, can you tell me what problems you faced and how did you solve it as your main thing?
Okay, problems related to definitely the again dryers and washing machine. They were out of order a lot of times, so we had to ensure that periodic visits from the vendors to maintain that had to be ensured. So that was one thing. Other than that, there were issues with the cleanliness of the toilets, washrooms, etc. So that through periodic checks, periodic inspections, we as a council members, committee members, we did periodic checks to make sure that those are properly cleaned, and we had a that those were actually our basic duties. We had to carry out it diligently so that proper cleaning was done, etc.
So Akshay is asking a question that why are you going for GSEC PG position and why not for a GSEC position in a hostel or let's say a GSEC HA position?
Okay. So I think now my orientation is mostly towards academic affairs because I'm going to second. I mean, in second year now, I'm going for the third year. So I will be able to contribute more on the academic side because all this digital maintenance things, etc. Digitization is one main thing that is happening in the institute now, where my experience can be helpful. And uh, I believe it's my own thing that I feel I have good people skills. I'm a person who understands both sides of a problem. So I mean, I put myself into the shoes of both parties to understand what is the exact problem and how to solve it for the benefit of both parties. So I think that is helpful in dealing with outside industries as well as the problems which the academic problems which the student community is facing. So that's why I'm going for
Perfect.
PGs.
Yeah. So let us now move towards the next round. So next round has two parts. In the first part, inside people will ask few questions. After that, we will open the session for the audience to ask questions. So I would invite the people from inside to ask the questions. So I think Amog or Suman can take this initiative for asking questions from inside.
So I'll be asking the questions. Yeah. So
Sorry,
Amog
usually
here,
I
I'll be
can.
asking the question.
No, but yeah, sure.
Okay. So the first question would be, So what are the plans for the Married Research Scholars Building? Where would it be located on the campus, and are there sufficient funds for the same?
Yeah. So the current issue with the Matrix Scholars building is that there is lack of funding, as you all know, and even the Ask Me Anything session, if you have attended, you would know that director has told there is no funding as of now. So the problem is that the main problem is that if there is any funding comes up, the priority will be going to the student for the building for normal students rather than uh, the merit research scholars building. So what I am thinking of doing is to find funding through private parties outside the institute for specifically for this particular merit research scholars building, and we have to pitch it such that we have to make the pitch prioritizing what is the mental health challenges that are coming up in the institute. Why, like, yeah, yes,
Sorry to interject. Did you say
Mhm.
get funding through private
From yeah,
from?
I'm thinking of it because there are two options I have, like, which we have to try. One is through, I mean, from private this thing, private parties in the philanthropists in the city whom we can pitch and convince that okay, this
Okay,
is a good
you mean
nice
like
thing to
that?
do
Okay, got it.
initiative. Yeah, yeah. Another is through, I mean, we have to ask, put pressure on the government, I mean, the government to issue fund for the institute to build this thing.
Okay, so basically asking for funds from philanthropists outside the campus. So how would the collaboration with the HA Council work for this exactly? In your mind, what's the plan exactly?
The plan in the sense, so what are you exactly like asking?
So you
How
mentioned
I'm
that
going to?
you mentioned you mentioned in your manifesto that you plan to collaborate with the HA Council and other stakeholders for a new married
Right,
research scholar
right,
building.
right,
I'm
right,
just
right.
concerned how would the HA Council feature in your plans where you plan to, ask for
Oh,
outside funding
okay,
from
okay.
philanthropists
So
outside the
see,
campus.
whatever issues related to the what infrastructure in the institute has to go through the HC council. But
Yeah, I understand that.
why PGS is coming in here is because it is a specific problem related to PG community, the PG students, that is post married research students. So we have to help. I mean, we will be helping them in securing this thing. Again, my fund is that more manforce, better. I mean, we can increase the chances of getting the funding. And of course, I forgot to mention one more this thing option we have, that is to till we get the funding, we have to arrange for a alternate accommodation outside the institute, at least if we can identify some buildings where PGs can stay and merit research scholars can stay, and we distribute that information among the scholars so that we can build a community there. It will become easier for those research scholars to stay in a place where it is predominantly from the minority community.
So there is a
residents.
question from one of the
So
person
am I audible?
related to this. No, Akshay, एक minute. There is a question
Okay.
from one of the guys related to this. He's asking, do you think philanthropists will donate money to a person, to a research scholar earning 31 to 35K, or to a poor person who does not have any roof on head?
Yeah.
Yes, so Radik, can I rephrase the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I want to ask, like, did you identify anyone who is ready to donate? And like, have you seen anyone donating for hostel projects? Because they don't get anything out of it. People typically fund for departments and research parks.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't identified anyone yet. I mean, actually, right, I don't have the right to speak from the part of the as part of the institute. Like, I can't say that I'm from the institute. I'm speaking for these people. So what I'm thinking is that there are few pictures.
Yeah, Krishna, look, there must be some previous precedent based on which you would have thought that you can approach private parties. Like if it has happened in any other IITs, or if it has happened earlier, okay, earlier in the institute itself, but without a prior precedence. So like, do you have any prior precedence in this case?
No, I don't. This is one thing where I need to put effort and try this option as well for this, because see, it is in a stalemate now. There is no progress happening from many years because of the funding issues. We need to try every option available to solve this issue, and one of this is if we can convey the message that okay, see, this is because the managers scholars, if they don't get proper accommodation here, then it will take a mental toll on them, saying that okay, you can't stay with your family, or
Krishna,
if you're
Krishna Raj. Yeah, look, we know there is a problem, okay? So we don't need to explain the problem. So the other thing is that, look, do you know the estimate cost or say estimated funding required to set up a MRS building? Do you have a ballpark amount in your mind which will be required?
So what I understand, what I gathered from the people who talked in the HA committee is that around like for the recent hospital that is coming up, around 150 crores was the cost for that.
Cool.
So that was like for 1,200 students.
Yeah.
So we need not go that high as of now, but around the ballpark will be around 100 crores, which we have to divide among different various members, I mean the funders. So so that is my understanding.
So so typically, and like, do you know, like, what is the amount of say this extramural fundings which IIT Bombay gets, say from alumni or some private sources in an year, a ballpark number again? So like, do you know what was the
what was the amount? Question.
Yeah. So do you know, like,
So I heard somewhere around. I don't know the exact entire this thing for all the issues. I heard about for this. I think recently for the people who don't have the facilities to work from this thing home. So I heard something around 20 crores. I might be wrong. I might be completely off the amount. So around 20 crores or something they got for that.
So the thing is that, I mean, too much of cross questioning is happening. So I would request Akshay, we can move ahead. So Amok, please ask the other question. And then
Okay. So the second question from Insight Center is okay. So I'm continuing with the question. Why aren't machine TA certificates being given yet? Since as far as we know, it was approved but the departments have not moved to do it yet.
Yeah. So you're right that it's already approved. TS certificates are already approved. I mean, issuing that. Uh, Even I have to find out exactly why different departments are not giving that, because I myself I was not even aware that there is option for TF certificate. I have done a TA for a particular instrument. I was not aware that we can get the TA certificate. So this is one place where I have to find out exactly why that is not happening. And I think that is one more thing I have also proposed. Instead of certificates, if we can make it like a certificate, this thing, a course kind of thing, credential in the ASC, saying that okay, this person has done this coursework. So if we can come up with a policy for that, even that will work.
Fair enough. So Radhik, those are all the questions from Insights, and you can continue with the Q&A session.
Okay. So now let us open the floor for the audience. So I think we have to allow that. I mean, people can raise their hands, and we will unmute them, and they can ask questions. Anybody from the audience who would like to ask questions can raise their hands, and then questions can be asked. So shall I take name of people and then ask them if they have any question or not? Oh, Madhav is here. Madhav, GSA UG, you have any question?
वो पूछेगा खत्म कब कर रहे हो?
Harsh, Govind. Govind, you have any question?
Maybe they are not able to unmute.
Yeah. So Harsh has raised his hand. So let me catch him. Yeah, so I'm unmuting you. Harsh, yeah, you can ask the question, but lower your hand.
Okay. Yeah. So as a GSEC AA, you will be having to do a lot of consultations as well. Like as one of the things, let's say you mentioned that
Harsh, your voice is breaking actually.
Your voice is breaking.
Okay. If someone asks this question, I will type it.
Okay. So others, Anish, Deepanvita, and Mukesh.
Govind has raised the hand.
Yeah, Govind. Where is Govind? Govind. Okay. Govind, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
I think my question is to not only for Krishnaraj, but others two ex-G6 and current G6. Means what is your view on this current going pandemic, when to end and when to allow all the students and normalize all the facilities inside the this institute?
Yeah, that is a very nice question, but I think this is not the platform for that. This is a platform for election for GSA PG. So I would request you to restrict the questions related to the same. So if you have a question related that can be answered by Krishnaraj, they will answer, or else you can email us. We will give you answer.
So do you want to address that to Krishnaraj? Who asked that question?
Yeah, it's a tricky question because whatever we decide doesn't need not yeah.
Krishna, you don't have to
Yes.
answer. If he addresses it to you, you can answer the question. Does he
But
want to address it to you?
Doubt, like this is something that Krishna can also answer. I mean, like Krishna has not been in any of those things. How can he answer to that question? That is my doubt. But if Krishna is open and willing, and if Govind still wants to ask, then no issue.
I mean, yeah, that's what. He has to address it to him, right? He hasn't. So Krishna doesn't have to answer this.
So Govind, do you want to ask this question to Krishna?
I think
Okay.
he's on
Yeah,
mute.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
In the meantime, I would request Harsh to type. I not got the question. Yeah. So, Krishna, you answer this question.
Yeah, actually, Govind, I think he said I have addressed him to also. So, I mean, my answer is in line with yours almost, that we are not exactly this thing to decide on that. Only thing we can, as part of PGC, we can do is to communicate the problems which students are facing to the administration and urge them to ease the restrictions as sent when the, at least we have to adhere with the Mumbai BMC rules that we cannot avoid. But if there is any possibility of extra rules which have been put by, if there is an extra rule put by the institute, we can convey the problems to the institute for that. Other than that, I think it is mainly in the purview of the GSHA and the reopening committee.
Okay. Thank you. So there is a question from Harsh, which will be the final question from the audience, or if there is no others. As a GSA, you have to go through a lot of confrontations. For example, placements team's interest may not be same as yours. How will you tackle these kind of confrontations?
Okay. So first of all, placement team's interest should be the same as
No.
ours, right?
You're not
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to
yeah.
understand. The question is, in your, as you become a GSA, you might have to confront placement team, sometimes faculty, sometimes even dean. In my case,
Right.
sometimes you have to even confront the director. So how will you do that kind of confrontations?
My first step will be to definitely, I will have a personal conversation with the people. Okay, so that is the first step. It's like a more of personal approach to them to convey our problems. Once if that doesn't work, usually that should work because the interests are same. It can't be different. I mean, I am also working for a better placement opportunity for the students. They are also working for that. So it's only about how you make them understand the problem. It's more of how you talk to interpersonal skills of you, right? I think it's more of that. Yeah, of course, if that doesn't work, then you have to go to the hierarchy of you can even talk to the deans and that hierarchy we have to follow in the administration to convey your problems. Yeah.
Okay. So I hope that there is no other questions from the audience. And already 2 questions are done. Okay, there is another follow-up. I think.
Yeah, with Harsh has followed up. I have a follow-up question.
Would you like to answer?
Yeah. So what I said was that okay, UG people see, UG people also have the same interest, that is they want to give employment opportunities, but it is not necessary that they understand what are the requirements of the PG and the PhD students, right? The UG students might not know exactly what type of role these people are looking for, so that message has to be conveyed, that this thing has to be done while making sure that they won't get overburdened. So even that problem comes up, they might resist to our approaches because they're getting overburdened. So that's why PGAC can help them in finding the role. I mean, talking to the different industries in identifying what type of rules they can provide for the PG students. First of all, I would like to thank the election committee and Insight team for organizing this one. So I am going out of this soapbox with more insights into the problems, which even I have mentioned, as well as some other problems. And I will appeal to the PG student community to go through my manifesto, suggest me any problems you are facing in there. I mean, if I have missed any points, please suggest me that. And I'm a person who thinks that I will be happy if people around me are happy. So I'm hoping that if I am elected, by the end of my tenure, I am making the life of PG students in this institute a little better. I'm not saying that I will solve all the problems, but I will definitely take the right step towards solving each of those problems which come into my way. So I would request all to please go to the manifesto and go out and vote on 13. Go to log into the, this thing website and vote on 13 March. Thank you.